Money arrived 14 minutes or 15 minutes before the meeting, and we're turning into the bank right now. Go up and sign the papers, and then we have possession of the property.
Som är dig som köpare, det är två likadana.
See what we can find. There's plenty here. It's pretty nice starting your day eating breakfast straight off the bush. So you can go get some more. Good times. Good time of year. Look at that. There, look. Life could be worse. In today's video, we're getting started on my first proper real estate development. I've actually bought a farm that's zoned and ready for new structures. So this will be video number 1 in taking you along to see what it's like to develop real estate. Our hope is to build duplexes, but it's a long journey, so we'll have to see where this goes. Let's go. It'll be fun. Here it is. Just signed the papers. Just bought my property. Time for the first development. We're recording at the new property. But truth be told, it's not quite new. I've actually had it for a while. I bought this it's a house, a barn, another barn, and another barn, fields around the house, and then a big field over there. That's what I bought. And I got wine growing on the house here. That's pretty cool. I'm gonna show you around bit by bit in the upcoming videos and tell you each part of the process. So we got a big old farmhouse that we're gonna renovate. We got barns behind me here, and then we got fields around the house that are zoned for future development, which is the main reason why I bought this place. And then I have a big field and a lake down the road where we're looking at either solar park or growing something or creating a little holiday park, or we'll see. That's kind of development, I guess. I have a plan, but I also have enough experience to know that things don't always go as planned. But the backstory is I bought this about a few months ago. I bought it in the autumn. I signed it last summer, took over the property after some, well, that's a funny story on its own. I went to go sign the papers and I hadn't received the money I was supposed to pay with yet, so I went to the closing without money. Here's a quick update on an absolutely miserable situation. It's now 10 o'clock on October 18, and we're about to go sign and actually do the transfer of money and take possession of that development property. And I don't have the money. So I have an investor part that's a financing part of this. We'll go through all of that later, but through some miscommunication and I'd say minor neglect on their part, the transfer wasn't done until this morning, and then it takes a few hours for the money to get from one bank to another. So I'm driving to this meeting that starts at 11, and according to the bank that they use, the money should be in my account by 10:30, but they use the word should and emphasized should, meaning that I might not have it when I meet them. So then I have to figure out if You know, it's going to be us, my banker, we're doing it at my bank, my banker, the realtor and the buyer. And we all have to be present when they wire the money to make sure there's no fraud and anything like that. And then it's too late to reschedule, and I don't really know what to do with the whole thing. So worst case, I'll have to plead and ask them to come back this afternoon. And I do think if I don't have the money by the end of the day and pay them on this date, they can technically just take the 10% down payment that I've already paid and walk away. So yeah, 10 o'clock. We're hoping, we're praying, and it's sketchy. Doesn't feel good at all. Like, it'd not be fun to walk in there and not have the money to pay for the property that I've signed for. But keep you posted. But then they came into my account from the investor last minute. Money arrived 14 minutes or 15 minutes before the meeting, and we're turning into the bank right now. Go up and sign the papers, and then we have possession of the property. Yay! Quite a big place actually, but I'll do the drone to show you all the stuff that I took over, and give you a little rough idea of why I bought it and where I'm planning to take it. And there it is. The farmhouse. It's like a big old house, 200 square meters, and needs a good bit of work. I'll show you around the house in a separate video, but as for now, that's like one of the big assets when buying this place. I'm thinking that just doing that farmhouse right, renovating and sectioning it off and selling it, will give most of the money that I put in back. Around the house, there's some fields, as you can see here, and I have about 4 acres just around this farm, around these houses, and the grass fields you see around the white house, that's the farmhouse that I bought. Those grass fields around it are zoned, meaning that you're allowed to build on them. So they're sold for lighter industry or residential, and what we're trying to do there is to get approval to install some duplexes. And then I have the barns across the little street there. And then you'll get a good overview right here over the town they're in. It's on the west coast of Sweden, along the big highway running from Copenhagen to Oslo. Gothenburg is about 1 hour north of here. And then if you look at the far end of these houses, there's a little lake on the left and then a field next to it. And that field also came with the property. Now that field is not zoned. So I have one option is to zone it for the future, but that could take up to 20 years if you're unlucky. But the location would be great for adding another row of houses or two. There's also options for like glamping around that lake there. Or as you see a little further up behind it, a neighbor put up a solar park, and apparently the area is really good for it. So there's stuff in the making right here around the field as well, but we'll get into that later. A little bit more about the surroundings. You know, there are some good houses around it where the property is located. It's like a farm that's been sectioned off over time. So a lot of the houses you saw around it there were built on what used to be farmland for this actual farm. And then nowadays they've been sectioned off and developed, but not all of it. So the stuff I got, there's still a bit left to develop. So the field with the lake is about 10 acres. Or 5 hectares, and then around this farmhouse here in the little farm, it's 4 acres or 2 hectares. The white farmhouse, about 200 square meters, needs to be renovated and either rented or sold. And then the barns, as you see on the left there, I will most likely renovate and section into garages, bigger garages that are insulated, and then that's something I can rent as well. It's quite popular in Sweden now for smaller businesses and stuff to rent like one section of a barn for their materials and what have you. And that's about all I've planned so far. And with that, we'll be done for today. In the next few videos, like I said, I'll go through each different part of this property and what my plan is with that part, and then you'll be able to follow along as we go ahead and do our best to develop this place. It's a big development for me, small for some, big for me, and very fun. So follow along, click like, subscribe, all the stuff, and we'll do some more from here. Real grapes. They're gonna turn red, and then we'll make a nice bottle of red wine a little later this year. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon.